Hey everybody, it's a late off the ledge. This is Annette and I'm here to make sure that you're keeping your mind, your thoughts, your attitude on the up and up. Just drove back from Maine a little while ago and I couldn't find my cord to my other light, so I have my old light, and you know, when you pack things, you lose things. But anyway, we're here, and that's what matters. I'm going to read to you from Ernest Holmes. I know that there's a lot of insanity in the news, namely that we have a bunch of bozo clowns running our government into the ground, and I feel a song coming up. A bunch of clowns running our government into the ground and putting us in a very dangerous place, but we have known that. So let's really keep our minds and thoughts centered on that we remain safe, that in the face of chaos, that we remain safe. I do feel that there are forces behind the scenes at work making sure that we do remain safe, but let's just continue to pray. Let me read to you from Ernest Holmes, and then we'll see what Kathy Beale's astrology says for today, even though it's a little bit late. Better late than never, as they say, and in not very long of a time I'm doing the Psychic News Network. Today is the 24th, and we're back to Ernest Holmes. Abundant living. Thou openest thine hand and satisfieth the desire of every living thing, is a quote from the book of Psalms. Why go through life as though it were something to be endured, as though there were not enough good or joy to go around? Are we not always limiting the possibility of love and affection, of appreciation, and of the common everyday good things of life? If we really are in union with a divine source, then there should come a feeling of abundance in everything we do, an abundance of friendship, of self-expression, of everything. The abundant life contains all things, whether we call them big or little. We should sense the flow into our consciousness of the divine intelligence, a feeling that the creative imagination of the whole universe is centered in us and flowing through us. We should consciously practice this more abundant life, not necessarily for any specific thing or good we desire, but for the realization of the all good flowing through everything and everyone. Attuning our consciousness to this divine abundance, automatically we find a betterment in everything we do, a broader and deeper experience, a higher realization, and a greater good. All right, so abundance doesn't pertain only to money. A lot of people think that abundance pertains to money, but it's not just that. Abundance pertains to abundance of guidance, abundance of protection, abundance of good feelings, abundance of new experience, abundance of learning. And what we see in our illegitimate criminal government by thugs scenario nowadays, what we see is that they're really striving hard to get us to not feel abundant, to get us to feel deprived, and then to turn around and to blame it on the reason you feel deprived is because of the Democrats. Okay, let's unpack that. We live in a time, and it started 10 years ago, where the idea of living free has been under assault and attack, because mind control can make you believe really, really stupid things. When somebody's under cult mind control, one of the signs is they believe really, really unintelligent things. So let's have an abundance of a knowing that there are more of us. There's an abundance of people who are intelligent. There's an abundance of people in positions of power, not that we're seeing, but there are abundance of people in positions of power that are working for the highest good of all. Whether you believe that or not is up to you. We didn't come this far to only get this far. We don't devolve, we evolve. We don't decrease, we increase the good. Because that's the nature of the universe and how it works. So let's go to our astrology for today. And perhaps, I don't listen to these ahead of time, but perhaps Kathy Beale will say something that kind of elaborates on that. Let's see. March 24th, astrology.
This is Kathy Beale of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for March 24th, 2025. No matter how weird, wacky, confusing the rest of the world may come across right now, today you know your own mind. This is a terrific day for insight, for simply understanding your place in the universe, for forgiving yourself, for having incredible compassion for yourself, and if nothing else, knowing firmly who you are. You'll hear people talk about the Mercury Cazimi. This is it. Mercury meets the sun today. That's all for now.
Oh, Mercury meeting the sun feels like big revelations coming. That was apropos. That fit what I said. You know, we have to kind of hold to, you know, this is our strong feelings about things. Be in our power. Let's pull some Osho cards. I hope you're having a good Monday. It was snowing in Maine. It's pouring here. Lots and lots of rain. Still cold. But it was really beautiful in Maine, as you saw. I'm sure you saw that I filmed the sunrise. I live streamed the sunrise two days in a row. It's incredible up there. It really is. I'm spoiled. I have an abundance of beauty all around me. Okay, we gotta give thanks for those things. I have heard Brian Tyler Cohen talking about that, you know, the oligarchy, they don't want these free platforms to be talking about democracy because they hate freedom. So that's why I don't have a lot of views. Just so you know. But we're hanging in there because we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of vibes to uplift. So we're going to do what we can to keep this channel here intact. And we're going to do everything that we can. And I'm going to expand my platforms. I'm not going to just be on YouTube. That's what I've decided. I'll be here and I'll be on other platforms. Okay, so today, the cards for today are, interesting. I'm picking up for the collective, feeling the burden of having a, I don't know what to call them, a collection of bozo clowns doing really stupid things, and is putting a huge burden on the United States. Plus, they're stealing all the money. Don't worry, things will change. And this is the orange buffoon showing up as the miser, and the energy of the people around him who are not telling the truth about him, that he has no cognitive function. I just want to tell you that. We'll get into that tonight. If you're watching this on Monday night, we have the Psychic News Network tonight. And they're starting to know that they're not popular. But they're starting to feel it too. There's nothing conclusive here per se, but this is what's going on. The burden is getting so intense. They're not popular. They're holding back information that is critical to us. Like there's something called Amendment 25. If a president is unfit to serve, he needs to step down. And no, don't be writing me comments about, but then JD will step in. Don't say things that are gonna happen that you haven't seen, right? There's many possibilities in the universe. Our job is to set the trajectory for the one that we want to see happen. These cards are interesting today because it's saying that they're failing in popularity. The Democrats are rising up in popularity, and the people have the power. And I get that information, I get that message all the time. The people have the power. Let's remember, most people are good. Let's remember that most people are abjectly stupid. I know sometimes we have days where we think that everybody is, but let's just know the truth. That most people have a brain in their heads, but we can see people running our government that are minus minus IQs. All right. What else? I think maybe I'll pick a rune card. Because why not? The rune of chance, destiny, possibility, Frigga, creation, retrieval, initiation. Against all odds, we are able. This one says. This is called pair throw. Against all odds, we are able. We pull from the strings that tie us and weave those of our blood before us. The tapestry of our future is guided by our hand as well. The treasures are there for our taking, adding to our personal constellation and enhancing our word. So let's really think about what we're working towards. Frigga is a goddess presiding over this rune. She was the spinner of the threads of fate. This rune can be used to embody all that lay before and all that is possible in one's destiny. Okay, so one other line. It's up to us to wade through the waters to rediscover those ancestral pearls that do indeed inform our paths, if only we're brave enough to dive and remember. The chakras, the solar plexus, third eye, and sacral chakra are indicated here. And the tarot cards associated are the High Priestess, the Wheel of Fortune, and Justice. The High Priestess reminds me that there are forces behind the scenes protecting and guiding. And let's not forget the spirits of our ancestors that are always helping us. Keep the faith. If you are a member, I'm going to record day 20, I think we're on, 40 Days to Releasing Religious Guilt. It's a transformative program. And tonight we have the Psychic News Network. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you can share in any of those, it will be helpful because I am being blocked. Okay. See you soon. Namaste.